to hire kind of an important celebrity if they're willing to, ruin their career. No, I'm just kidding. If they're willing to, do the gig, because all you have to do is pay them one day. So if a guy makes $300,000, $400,000 because he's got a name, and you say, look, I need you for one day, you could get away with maybe $20,000, $30,000 for that one day. So our first, well, it sounds like a lot, but for a big name, that's actually pretty cool. So for some reason, I'm not sure where it came from, our casting guy said, you gotta go for Gary Busey. And Gary Gary now is really well known, he's been on TV, but 10 years ago, he still was known, and his reputation as a lunatic was certainly there, but not as popular as he is now. But I said, there's no way we're gonna get Gary Busey. There's not a chance. And so they said, you got nothing to lose, let's make the offer, send him a script. So we did that, and I'm thinking, well, we better find some more realistic names, because Gary Busey, who, I think he won an Emmy, and he's a songwriter, and he's directed great stuff, even though he had that accent and he became weird, he's just not gonna do it. So we get a call the next morning from Gary's agent saying, Gary loves your Cookie movie, and he wants to fucking do it. I said, really? Yes. So anyway, there are so many stories, but we're all prepared. I've worked with crazy people before. I've worked with Klaus Kinski, who put a gun to my director's head once just to get the right shot. That's how insane he was. He was really, you believe that Kinski would actually kill you if he got pissed off. Gary is more just wacky. So we heard about this, and I was ready. I was directing the thing, and I've dealt with crazy people. I thought, listen, no matter what, plus how bad can it be? It's one day. It's just one day. It's not like 5 weeks, it's one day. So he arrives on set, there's all sorts of shenanigans, and the car he wanted a van with certain candy, and if he didn't get the candy, he wouldn't, all this weird stuff. But his reputation was, or probably still is, a super womanizer, and that, hide all your chicks because he's really out there. I said, well, it's one day, we're all here, we're on a set, we're at this diner, how bad can it be? Well, about an hour and a half into the day, and I already met him, and he was nice and weird. Someone came to me, said the guy walked into the motorhome of the wardrobe ladies, and this one particular lady has these like massive boobies, and he went up to her and introduced himself and grabbed her boobs. So I know that's kind of bizarre, right? I said, hey, what are we gonna do, Charlie? I said, what are you gonna do? He's here one day, In the spirit of Gary Busey, is she okay? Yeah, she's kind of giggling. I said, fine, let's get through the day. So we had more events like this, but here's the real bad one, I kid you not. So it's around lunchtime, and we're breaking for lunch, or we just finished lunch, whatever it was time to get back on set. And our AD, assistant director, comes up to me and says, Gary's gone. He has that reputation too. If he's not into it after 2-3 weeks, he just goes home, It's like, what about the movie? But this was like 5 hours. I said, Gary's gone. He's gone? Yes, he's gone. He's nowhere. We're here. We're the diner. There's that back area where we have his motorhome. There's the highway. We would see him. He didn't drive away because we brought him to set, but he's gone. No one can find Gary. I said, that's ridiculous. So, I'm walking around the set, and everyone's, where's Gary? Where's Gary? And the girls are like, where's Gary? So there's no Gary. And so I'm walking back to where his motorhome is, kind of in the corner in this parking lot. I feel bad, there's kids here, sorry kids. Anyway, I'm leaning on his motorhome. Of course, I went in there just to double check, looked in the bathroom, lots of candy wrappers, no Gary. So I'm leaning on the bus, on the thing, and I hear something like, where's the bush? I said, what's gone down, where is the bush? And I hear little giggling, like, it's like, where's the bush? What the fuck? But I could recognize his voice. So I go around the back of this motorhome, and this is what I see. There's Gary, who's got these 3 young girls from our set, sort of trapped, and he's literally saying, goddamn, where's the bush? What happened to the bush? When I was a kid, there was bush everywhere. Do you have a bush? No, I don't. Why the fuck not? Where did the bush go? That's kind of my Gary Busey story. But in 10 years, the bush will be back, and the story will have no relevance at all. It's like, what do you mean the bush is here? No, I'm sorry, okay. If I offended you, I'm sorry, but it's a Gary Busey story. There's so many. So, well, thinking about Ginger Dead Man. Okay, so I made 3 Ginger Dead Man movies, and then I was kind of in the same spirit of silliness. I made a series of films called Evil Bong, okay? And I had a lot of fun with that. Then I thought, well, in a inspired moment, I thought, well, why don't we have Ginger Dead Man versus the Evil Bong? It doesn't get crazier than that. We'll have all the best stuff, bongs and weed and pissed off cookies and boobies, right? Does it get better than that? So, thank you. So, she goes, yay for boobies. Oh, we have so much fun planned for you later. You just come up here, okay? So, anyway, so I decided to make this movie, and this was around the time when we launched Full Moon Streaming, which I'm totally passionate about. So what I did, without making it real complicated, because I'm sure you're all going to sign up tonight when you see what I'm going to give you, okay? You will be like amazed at the amazing booby shirt. That's in about 15 minutes. All right, so I make the movie, we launch Full Moon Streaming, and it's really cool. You know, we only have a few hundred subscribers. You know, you start at 0, then the first guy signs up, and the second, and 10, and 20, and it'll be a few years before we hit enough to make it really awesome, but you know, we're getting there, and with your help and support of Full Moon, it'll be super cool. So now we're maybe 2 months into the deal, and like everything I'm doing now, the movies and soon some series I'm doing will premiere on the site, and they won't probably be out for many months on DVD, and maybe never DVD. And it's not like I hate DVD, it's just there's no place to ship them anymore, you know? It's like, I mean, there's some specialty places, there's still Family Home Video, there's a few, but we used to ship 40, 50,000 units, and now we're lucky if we sell 2,000 units, and it's mainly at conventions. So this is the home, this is now the home for Full Moon. So I just finished a great series, I'm gonna get back to cookies and boobies, called Trophy Heads. Now, I shouldn't say this because I'm really bad at spilling the beans, but Trophy Heads is a 5-part series. It's kind of like our House of Cards, all right? It's 5 weeks in a row. We're not going to do the binge thing, but for 5 weeks you can tune into the next sort of episode of Trophy Heads. And Trophy Heads is a real simple premise, which you can relate to. It's about an insane fan, a fan who's so deranged, and he's so in love with Scream Queens from the 90s, okay, that he feels super bummed out because he thinks that everyone's forgetting these wonderful actors, and well, actresses, I should say. And he's trying to figure a way to preserve them and make them important forever. Now, of course, he has an amazing, super amazing, enabling mom, okay, who's like a really wicked character. And he decides the way to do it is to cut all their heads off, right? You know? And I'm talking about the real Scream Queens, you know, Brinke Stevens, Linnea Quigley. So I got all the famous Scream Queens. They're all in the movie. He abducts them all. He cuts their heads off. People are going, what is he talking about? And the heads come to life, of course, because he's demented. They start talking and making him do weird stuff. Trophy heads, cool? It's cool. You'll love it. It'll be good. And then we're going to do another Killjoy. And then we're going to do Puppet Master a little later this year. And finally, we're going back to Romania to do Subspecies. So with your support, and sign up for the site, because these all premiere on the site. And a few of them will eventually come out in DVD next year, but it's all sort of there. So anyway, I made Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong, and one cool thing I did, then I'll show you the trailer, or the little piece, is I thought, okay, so Netflix and these other streaming sites have one function: see the movie, see the trailer. Now, of course, I've added in crazy behind-the-scenes stuff and all the footage I told you about I've been collecting for years, but then I thought, well, why can't it be more interactive? You know, why can't we do cool things like, let's say you're there watching the Evil Bong and you're like all like super high, and why can't someone come out if you want to see a weird version and show you some crazy bong, and why can't you push a button and the bong drop in your shopping cart, right? You know, and why can't we like do contests and treasure hunts and put things in the movie so you guys can find them if you're in the mood to be a little more interactive? So with Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong, which was our first premiere on streaming, if you're, and some of you, has anyone seen it yet? Because the DVDs just came out. See, so I'm so happy that 20 had seen it and 500 haven't. So, but no, it's cool, because, so what we did is, if you're on the streaming side and you go to Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong, you can look at 2 versions. One is the straight linear version. You watch the movie like you've always watched the movie. The other one I called the ganja version, okay? And it's awesome. And aside from interactive stuff and factoids and hot chicks that pop out and talk to you, I hid 5 golden moons inside the scenes of the movie. Very hard to find. I mean, they're findable. Everyone found them the first weekend, and we gave away tons of free stuff. So what I would do is, like, let's say there was a close-up of one of the hot chicks, and you cut back to her 3 times, and right behind her is a shelf of whatever. On one of those cutbacks, there's the golden moon, you know? Just to have fun, just to do something different. So I'm going to show you this little piece, and then we'll come back and do stuff on stage, okay? Thanks.